Shalom. 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 First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakar Kadash, blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom, once again, Israel, which consists of the so called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? What you are seeing is the Lord stripping the whore. He's uncovering all the secrets of this wicked society, of this wicked country, man. Right? Here it is. You got Pentagon documents that leaked, right? On how America was spying on their allies and their enemies, man. You have no idea what this is gonna do to America, man, because as you can see now, a lot of these countries are breaking off from America, man. They are joining the BRICS nations, right? You had over 20, 30 countries, right? 20, 30 whether it's over there in the so-called Middle East, Europe, Asia, over there, 20 to 30, maybe more, even more, because they still bringing them in, or cutting ties with America, man. And the only allies America really have is you know, Israel. You got the French, which broke off. Britain. You know, but ain't no telling what these documents are going to bring out. It could bring out, things from, you know, uh, the past, and how the U.S. wanted to, how the U.S. may want to try to backstab another damn country, man, because that's all America does. Is they sign treaties and then go against them. They break treaties, and they uh find a way to go in and destroy and invade lands. And a lot of these nations, they know these. They know this, man. This is why they're cutting the US dollar, right? They're basically departing from this place, man. Right? America is finished. So before I play this, let me get this. This is Isaiah chapter 47. Let's go into that. Isaiah 47 and 1. And it reads, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." Right? Sit on the ground, there is no throne, because we're on the way of America having no throne. They're not gonna be known as a superpower and the number one country on the earth, man. These nations are exposing America. They're leaving America. Nobody wants to be nobody wants to do business with America no more. Right? So the throne that America once had, pursuing to the book of Jeremiah, 51st chapter, how Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So Babylon, America, has always been the top country in the world, man. Right? But the Lord said, He's in the time of bringing her down in that same chapter. Right? So it says, "Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate," man. Now you're called murderers, rapists, right? You are called evil in the sight of the nations, backstabbers, criminals. You're not called tender and delicate no more, right? So it says, "Take the millstone and grind the mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, because that's what America has done, man. America has went into all these other countries and set up their agendas and their philosophy, pushed their philosophy on these other nations, right? And now the nations they're biting back. The nations now they speaking up, right? And America is gonna have no choice but to push that button. But when Yahweh Shem Yahushua says so, right? It says, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered." That's what you see. The evil, the wickedness of America is now being found out throughout all the world, man. Right? It says, "Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." That's Yahushua. Because end all be all, Yahushua is coming back to destroy and level this place, man. He's going to level America, Babylon the Great. For what it's done to the children of Israel, how our cries are falling on deaf ears in this country, man. How we have been getting nothing but killed, raped, robbed, and murdered for ages, right? And America has put their foots on our necks, man, since they brought us over here in slavery, right? Well, the Lord did it, but the Lord gave them guidelines as to how to enslave us. But Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he did his own thing. He said, "I'm going to do it my way." So now the Lord is going to show his fierceness and his anger toward this place, man. It says, "I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man." And they think that the Lord coming back as a regular man, how he was when he first came down as a lamb, man. Right? When he walked and they crucified him and they spit on him and they poured vinegar in his mouth and put nails in his feet and his wrists, man. That's not happening. The Lord is coming back as an angelical being, man. You're not going to be able to touch the Lord. The Lord is going to do light work, man. It's light work. What's about to happen to this place? It says, "As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel." Who's that? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to come back and do work. Right? Jeremiah 49, verse 7. Right? And it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nations abhorreth, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise, princes also shall worship, because of the Lord that is faithful and the Holy One of Israel, he shall choose thee. Thus saith the Lord, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee, and I will preserve thee and give thee for a covenant to the people, to establish the earth, to cause the inheritance of the desolate heritage," man. So the Lord we in the time of that. The Most High is about to completely flip, right? Rulership. Right? Now you see it, now you don't. Now you see America, now you don't. Now you see the powers that rule America, now you don't. The Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to set up a righteous rulership and inherit the desolate heritage, man. Who's given the heritage, man? Who was the heritage of the earth given to, man? Who was the earth given to? The nation of Israel, man. Right? It says, "That thou mayest say to the prisoners, the nation of Israel, go forth to them that are in darkness," because the Israelites are in darkness here, man. 2/3 of our people are going to remain in darkness here and they're going to be destroyed. It says, "Shew yourselves that shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places," right? It says, "They shall not hunger for thirst, neither shall the heat nor the sun smite them. For he that have mercy on them shall lead them, even by the springs of water shall he guide them, man. So, hey, we're gonna get guided. We're gonna get guided through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. That's what's gonna happen. Right? Salakia, 1 second. 1 second, Israel. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 49. And this is what I wanted to get. Salakia, that one was good though. This is Jeremiah 49:7. And it reads, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitations of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Right? So, yeah, that's what happened. We sinned against the Lord. So we were given to the nations, but not for our destruction, but for because we moved the Most High to wrath, man. It tells you that in the book of Baruch. It says, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans be as the goats before the flock. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. That's what you see going on, man. You see an assembly of great nations coming upon the nation of Edom here in America, Babylon the Great. All these nations are assembling against America, man. It says, from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain, because all these nations are going to gather together and they're going to shoot their missiles over here. The ones that can, Russia, China, North Korea, right? Iran, they're all going to, because these nations, they're doing business. They're giving these other nations weapons, man, nukes that can reach America, man. Right? So it's over for America. It says, from thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because they're going to be happy to shoot missiles on America. Right? They're going to say payback is a bitch. Right? That's what the nations are going to say. It says, because they were glad, Salakia, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage. Who destroyed the heritage of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? And who is the heritage of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua? The Israelites. America has destroyed the Israelites, man. Has destroyed his heritage. It says, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellows as bulls, because these nations, along with the nation of Edom, have gotten rich off of the backs of the Israelites, have gotten rich off of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, have gotten riches of great abundance, right? Off of the backs and slaves, off of the backs and enslavement of the nation of Israel, man. So, hey, it says, your mother, right? Who is the mother? Britain, right? Shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed, because America is just a child off of a child out of Britain, man, and a child out of ancient Babylon. It says, behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert, man. This place is going to be completely and totally annihilated, man, by the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So let's play this, man. And we're going to get a couple of more. We're going to shut it down. Shalom.
of Justice has now launched an investigation into the leak of Pentagon documents that were posted online. U.S. officials have confirmed that some of the documents are authentic. The leak poses a serious risk to relationships with U.S. allies and military options in Ukraine. But there is also a concern from Ukraine that the documents may have been altered or maybe part of a misinformation campaign. For perspective on this, joining us now is retired U.S. Army Major Mike Lyons. I mean, this is astounding because what these documents show, one, is, as the New York Times put it, that the U.S. has basically penetrated every Russian security apparatus, has great insight into it. But as David Sanger writes in the New York Times today, you know, this is a disclosure because it's fallout in real time because some of these documents aren't even 40 days old. So you can actually see what they know right now about what's happening in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's right. I'm having a hard time getting my head around this. I mean, if there's 50 classified documents, there's 50 separate stories that are going to impact on the ground in Ukraine right now. The fact that they gave away their air defense platforms and where those locations were, the fact troop movements, they're talking about artillery rounds. We all know that Ukraine is running out of artillery. So this level of breach is significant. And the fact that we're kind of asleep at the switch, we had indications it was going on the past few months. We've got to do a better job monitoring these sites, these Discord sites that have this kind of information out there. It came from the highest levels of our government, the joint staff. These documents, they were removed obviously from a briefing. There were pictures of these presentations. So again,
and you heard that, man. He said this came from the highest form of government, man. So that tells you that a house is divided. This house is divided. America is divided, man. You got some people that are for the war and some that are not. Some that are going to expose America and some that want to keep America flowing, right? It tells you in the book of Luke, I believe. Yeah, it's Luke, where it say if Satan cast out Satan, his kingdom cannot stand. Paraphrasing, right? So that's what you got going on.
The damage assessment, I still think, is going on, and it's very significant. And now all these holes are likely getting closed up. It's going to cause significant trust issues between us and Ukraine.
But it does put into perspective, don't you think, the story that we've been covering about all these classified documents that are ending up, you know, at personal residences and so forth, just the danger that this poses, correct?
Yeah, it does, Donna. It's not just overclassification. This is serious stuff.
Right.
I mean, things get overclassified based on it might embarrass things within our country. This has national security implications on the ground, signals intelligence, SIGINT, so to speak. It shows us eavesdropping on our allies. It speaks to the fact that humans now, human intelligence sources could be burned on the ground. People could be, lives are at stake now with this kind of stuff.
And I mean, Caitlin makes such a good point about like real time, right now, information about Ukraine, et cetera. But at the same time, what was also included in the reporting from the Times over the weekend is sensitive briefing slides on China, sort of the entire Indo-Pacific military.
And point blank, man, hey, America is afraid, man. Like the government, the American government is afraid, man. They are scared, man, that these things are happening. Right? They're being found out. Right? And it's been rumored, right, that the U.S. was completely using the Ukraine to go against Russia, man, to weaken Russia, right? So, you know, if those documents hold any truth to that, the Ukraine is going to turn on America, which was prophesied to happen, right? Because over there, Ukraine and Russia and those dumb European countries, you know, some of them with a USSR, man. And you know, they were together at one time. And that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna the Most High tells you in Ezekiel 38 that he was gonna put hooks into thy jaws. So these nations are gonna get pulled. Chiefly Russia is gonna get pulled into this third world's war, man. And it ain't gonna be nothing that nobody can do. America is about to be annihilated, man. America is about to be destroyed, man. And America is being found out by the Lord. The Lord is uncovering all of America's wickedness, man, and evil. Right? This is Luke 12:2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known, man. This is the Lord that said it. So there's nothing uncovered that shall not, right? There's nothing covered that shall not be hid, man. Salakia, that shall not be revealed. Whatever was covered before is going to be revealed, man. Right? And nothing hid that shall not be known. We're in a time where America is being completely exposed. Right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. I'm going to start at 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, because that's the time we in. We in the time of our Lord returning, man. Our Savior returning. When Yahweh give the order, hey, that's going to be another level that nobody on this earth has ever seen, man. Right? It says, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of the anointed is at hand, man. We are in the day of our Lord returning. Right? Then the Lord tell you in I believe it's Ezekiel 39, where he said that the year of my redeem has come. So the Lord is about to come to redeem his people, man, the elect of the nation of Israel. Nobody else. You other nations, you through, man. You so-called Chinese, Japanese, East Indian, Arab, Africans, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Right? And how can I forget the so-called white man, Esau, Edom? You're through, man. He's not coming to redeem you. He's coming to redeem his elect, man. Right? Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, I'm part of that number. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And the nation of Israel has fell so far from the Lord. Hey, that prophecy is fulfilled, man. Right? And it says, and that Salakia, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, which means the son of destruction. And who's that? Esau, Edom. And that's where he's being. He's being revealed right now. Everybody's seeing that this man, which those Russians and those Ukrainians and those, them British and Yugoslavian, whatever, man, those are all Edomites, man. But this is toward the American, the so-called white man of America, man, of Babylon the Great. He has been the man of sin and the man of perdition, man, which they all are. But this is put toward the nation of Edom here in America, Babylon the Great, man. Right? So let's continue.
Theater, the Middle East, terrorism. It goes so far even beyond the current conflict. I mean, considering relations with, look what China and Taiwan, look what's happening right now.
Yeah, so the intelligence agencies now have got to focus on this to close gaps, mitigate risk, figure out what the damage is with regards to this information, taking our eye off the ball on what's happening in the Pacific. China, Russia could use this against our democratic allies and say, look, why should you trust the United States? You're going to give them information. Some of this information came from other countries. It had certain classifications that only certain other countries had, New Zealand, Australia, not even normal NATO allies, so to speak. So this is a significant breach up there with Snowden, WikiLeaks, and with regard. I hope we're closing ranks pretty quickly to figure out what happened.
And the point that David Sanger makes,
the damage is done. The damage is done, man. You can't come back from this. America is not going to be able to bounce back from this. What, they gonna go over there to their allied countries and say, hey, man, that was a lie, man. Like, come on. You know us. We've been doing business for years. You can't believe this, right? So it's going to be a huge gap within the trust of America's allies, man. Right? Why? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is revealing the wickedness of this man. So continuing the Thessalonians, this is verse 4. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he is the Most High, sitting in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Because Esau, Edom, he believes that he's God, man. He believes that he's the Most High. He believes that everybody got to worship him. Everybody got to come to him for one, right? And this, like I said, this is going into the American, the so-called American white man, right? So, hey, we're in the time of his place, his ass being put out, man. I got one more. We're gonna shut it down.
With Snowden is those were things were 3 years old,
Right.
and this is because of how new this is. Eavesdropping on allies, spying on allies, not exactly a surprise. Everyone knows it, everyone does it, but it's the idea that it's put out in the forefront can cause tension in those relationships. What I was most struck by was what they said about what's happening in Israel, and there was essentially this allegation of this intelligence that Mossad is basically the spy chiefs in Israel had helped foment the protests that we saw play out that we've been covering here every day when it comes to the judicial reform that's happening in Israel.
Yeah, it gets to the reason why these documents were released. Did someone have this level of intellect that recognized that that would cause that kind of a problem? But again, that came from signals intelligence, signals operations, eavesdropping, so to speak. And whether or not the United States had any say in that really remains to be seen. But the person who released this information clearly wanted to hurt the U.S.-Israel relations with that kind of breach.
Yeah, and just our allies' relationships, as you said, it's not surprising that everybody spies on everyone, but still, it's not out there for everyone to read.
Well, and remember whenever it was reported about, with Merkel when she was the German chancellor, and it caused a huge rift with the Obama White House. Just amazing. I mean, we'll continue to see where this investigation goes. Thank you for stating the significance of it this morning.
Thanks.
So there it is, man. And these devils got some nerve saying, you eavesdropping. You devils, you want to eavesdrop on everything, man. You want to control and monitor everybody, man. Be in everybody's business. Right? This man is nothing but a hypocrite, man. Right? And they saying that it was even documents in there leaking how America set that whole, had people pay basically to cause riots and all that in Israel, man. If I heard correctly. So this man right here, he said this person wanted to hurt the U.S. Yeah, because, a lot of these people in America are starting to find out how much of a liar the U.S. government is, man. And how evil the U.S. government is, man. So now, you're going to have a whole lot of whistleblowers coming out, right? You can't even imagine how many people were put to death by the American government for speaking the truth and going against the government. But it's about to be a complete wave of that going on. Any little move the U.S. government tries to make is going to get leaked. Right? Americans can't even trust Americans, man. In the U.S. government. So you can't tell me this place is not finished, man. Right? So this will be my last one. I'm going to close out. This is Job chapter 18, verse 5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine, man. The light, what? His evil, right? His rulership. Because what? Esau, Edom, he shines in wickedness, man. Right? It says the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. Right? Meaning his power. Right? The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. They had a counsel, right? They wrote it on paper, and they got linked out. right? So this is what you see casting him down, man. His counsel. Right? So I just wanted to go into that. Yahweh Shem Yahushua willing, the elect was edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakal Kadash, to bless me with the spirit to do this lesson. Until next time, Israel. Hey, we almost up out of here. Repent, seek Yahweh Shem Yahushua while he may be found. Love y'all. Until next time, Israel. Shalom.